this is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome and happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us here at Home with the Mitchells. I'm your host, Eugenia Mitchell. I'm a new mom, military spouse, flight attendant, influencer, and burgeoning entrepreneur. At Home with the Mitchells is a bi-weekly exploration of family, marriage, and the everyday adventures that is entrepreneurship. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe to your favorite podcast listening platform and join our story. From our family to yours, thank you so much for joining us. And welcome home. Happy Wednesday, guys, and thank you so much for coming back home. Today's episode is a little impromptu, but I think very necessary given these strange times that we are in. I had every plan to send my producers a yummy little episode that I recorded weeks ago, but God put a move on my heart to share this with you today. Today, I want to talk with you about feeling out of control, just not in control. Drafting the content of this episode gave me so much anxiety, but I promise you I'm here to bring you up, not down. So grab some coffee or even some tea because it's about to get real. Let me start this off by saying I am only going to say coronavirus. One time. Okay, once. She will hereby be known as Miss Thing over there. You with me? Okay, cool. As most of you know, my family, including my husband and my sweet 1-year-old son, are here in England due to my husband's job in the military. When the U.S. started responding to Miss Thing over there with the necessary restrictions and implementations, the UK was very far behind. There was little government guidance locally that required, self-distancing or any sort of quarantining, or honestly, any kind of change to social life. It's crazy. For a time, I was completely detached from this global anxiety that my mom, my sisters, my mother-in-law, and my husband's side of the family were experiencing. Fast forward to today, my husband's work center has started implementing some great changes and actions to safeguard their health as well as our health and the health of the military. This means my son's school on the military base was shut down. We could not gather in groups more than 2 persons. And here in England, we started to see the empty grocery shelves that I was seeing and just this kind of frenetic energy, throughout the populace, anywhere you went. It all kind of happened at once, and I don't think that I processed my feelings towards it, which kind of led to my baby breakdown today. Before I get into that, honestly, there are so many positive things going on in our life that we are really grateful for. We're building our first home in North Carolina. We're happy. We're healthy. Seriously, just shout out to Jesus because our life could not get any better. Usually my husband's job in the military is a daily, knock-down, drag-out, 12-hour day. I don't see him until 8, 9, or 10 p.m. at night. And being able to see him 24/7 is pretty great, honestly. Having our family unit together and just being able to spend so much quality time together is something that I absolutely love. The sudden change, however, from my regular routine was sudden and swift. All of these great things that are happening, we're spending time, we're binge watching Netflix. Ozark season 3 just came out, so we're super pumped over here. However, I had this feeling of, just being unsettled. The absolute perfect word for it, unsettled. I realized, and I can be honest with you guys in saying this, I felt out of control. I felt like I was spiraling. I was just going through the motion. I was happy, to spend this time with my family, but I felt like I was just going through the motions. Days were starting to run into one another. I started having this really crazy fatigue, and I also started consuming a lot of news surrounding Miss Thing over there. There are so many things social media is great for. It's great for showing generosity, the spirit of community, and honestly, just pure entertainment. It's freaking hilarious. But it's also a feeding ground for those who crave, this kind of negative attention, whether it be the woman who coughed all over the produce and claimed she had Miss Thing over there sitting in her throat, or the Generation Z folks that were not going to miss their spring break, so they were partying en masse on the beaches. Florida, get it together, Florida. Just come on. All things considered, I just fell out of control and I began thinking the absolute worst. Like, whoa, what if I get it? What if I bring it home to my son or my husband, by doing something as mundane as going to, my appointments at the hospital or going to the grocery store? What if when things settle down and, D goes back to work and then he brings it home and now the whole house has it? Like, I was just thinking the absolute worst. And granted, these are valid thoughts, but the problem with them is that they were all consuming and I was unpacking. I had my suitcase, I had my tote, I had my purse, and I was unpacking right there in the fear, right there in the anxiety, and right there in the whole not being in control. That was the problem. To be frank and to be a realist, Miss Thing over there can get really bad. It has the potential to get a lot worse than where it's at right now. However, I think it's just going to take a lot of joint effort from a lot of folks to really stop it and get it under control. I have to put my faith and trust in God, and I find that, I'm almost insulting him, right, by being so full of worry. I find that it's so easy to say, hey, think positive and be positive and share these motivational quotes on Instagram, but if you're not being intentional, which I wasn't being intentional. I was allowing the fear to consume me. If you're not being intentional and you're not choosing to be happy and think positive and, enjoy the present moment, it's just, what are we doing this for? I wanted to share this episode. And again, this is off the fly, off the cuff. I wanted to share this because I want you to be more intentional during this time, during this absolutely nutball crazy time. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, a lot of new self-isolation. Folks are being thrown off their schedules, trying to navigate becoming a teacher overnight. Oh my gosh, you guys, my son is only like 19 months, right? So that's something that I'm not tackling. But praise you in the Lord, because I'm watching these Instagram stories of my friends and FaceTiming them, and they are going through it, okay? Kids are eating all the snacks, okay? And they think it's a joke because mama's trying to teach them Common Core, and we didn't do that. We carried the one because we were smart people, and we used regular freaking math. I don't know what Common Core is, and I really feel for those of you who are having to teach your kids. Jokes aside, it's a lot to navigate, and I want to encourage you because I had myself a nice little cry, little breakdown, little boo-hoo, and I got it all out there with Dimitri. I needed encouragement, and I want you to be encouraged to take care of yourself, protect your mental, find some use in this expanse of time that Miss Thing over there, okay, has allotted you so suddenly. In fact, I want you to write a thank you note. Dear Miss Thing over there, I hate your stinking guts. Just kidding. No, seriously, thank you. Thank you, Miss Thing over there, for allowing me the opportunity to spend so much quality time with my husband. His job does not allow for that, so thank you. Thank you for letting me enjoy my garden while listening to old Jackson 5 albums. That makes me so happy. Like, I literally had to say that to Dimitri. The way he gets to, have time for himself to play video games and kind of catch up with his brother that lives in Florida and, his other brother that lives in Georgia. And it's just, what video games is to him, gardening is for me. So it's, thank you. Thank you, Miss Thing over there. You thought you had me, but you don't. I want to say thank you, shout out Miss Thing over there for paving the way and clearing my calendar so I can rest and recharge when my body has been begging me okay, to slow down. Thank you for bringing all of the creatives out of their nooks and crannies, y'all, for real. The internet is a really fun place to be. I mean, it's kind of crazy because all the scary stuff you hear, but it's also like primo memes are out there, you guys. All the snarky memes that I love, they are in full force during this isolation, okay? Folks are out there creating, and I love it. That's just a small modicum of what people are creating. Thank you for bringing out all of these creatives. And, you know, I have a feeling that out of this pandemic are going to come a lot of systems and products that will allow us to live more productive lives. You know what I mean? Because people have been forced into it. People have been forced into it. And they said, you know what? I'm stuck at home. I wish I could do bop, bop, bop. Boom. Somebody created it. Get their patent, get their LLC, and hit the ground running. If I'm not mistaken, during the last kind of economic downfall, Uber and Airbnb were created, okay? These small ideas that have become multi-billion-dollar businesses. Come on with me. Somebody listen to me. Halamana. Thank you, Miss Thing over there, for showing us the resilience of the human spirit, and thank you for being the party guest that just doesn't know when it's time to go home, even though we done called 3 Ubers for you, you know? The smile on my son's face when he realizes he gets to spend the whole day with mom and dad is more than enough to carry me through these trying times. I really hope this episode gave you some laughs and confirms in you that you are not alone. We're all in this together, and it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our dreams come true. If you know where that super cheesy line is from, I want you to leave me a review because you're a real one, and I also need you to subscribe because I'm that weird kind of host that does stuff like that. Okay? Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me on this crazy little rant. I hope it was digestible for you guys. It was super off the cuff, but it was really and truly on my heart. And I just had this getting this episode out there, I'm really excited about because this kind of cathartic moment I'm having right now, I'm feeling real tingly, and that's a good thing. And I hope that at the end of this, you feel tingly too. And I hope also that you share this episode with someone who is going through it. You know what I mean? Someone who maybe isn't as social as they used to be, and you know they're going through something. Maybe they're by themselves. Not everyone has a family during this isolation. Some folks have boyfriends and girlfriends, but you know, they're doing the right thing and they're doing that distancing and they are by themselves. It's just them. Reach out to your friends, share this episode with them. Feel free to subscribe if you like this episode and make sure that you glow in all that you do. Thank you so much for joining us and have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow us at Home with the Mitchells on Instagram and Facebook, and visit our website at www.athomewiththemitchells.net. Thank you so much, and be kind to one another.